Several Christians on social media have labeled me a heretic. YouTube considers such speech to be potentially offensive, but I don't. Such speech exposes the ignorance of the labelers. When someone labels you a heretic, ask them what that word means. They will have no idea, other than to judge you based on their own Orthodox beliefs, which can be Protestant, Orthodox Christian, or Catholic in case of Christianity. It doesn't mean anything else when they use this word. It just means that you don't believe or practice whatever the Orthodox believers of a religion or religious denomination believe or practice. The joke is on those Christians because they believe and practice a denomination of a religion that was founded by a heresiarch they call Jesus. According to the religious authorities of his time, he was a heretic. He is still considered to be a heretic by both Talmudists and some Jews. Catholicism, Orthodox Christianity, and Protestantism resemble Pharisaic Judaism more than the Judaism of Yahshua. They have a similar mindset. The word heresy doesn't exist in orthopraxy. In fact, the word heresy meant something else. It's used in the New Covenant where it has various meanings. It comes from Greek from a root connoting a free choice. It describes the philosophical parties within Greek culture, but in the New Covenant it is also used to describe the Pharisees and Sadducees, much like the English word denomination would. The word is used in the New Covenant in both positive and negative ways. For example, Apostle Paul states in 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 19, "For there also must be factions among you, that those who are approved may be revealed among you." The word faction is used to translate the Greek word heresy in this verse. The idea is to support different opinions and prove what is correct through discussing those ideas. However, in Titus chapter 3 verse 10, Apostle Paul uses the same word to warn Titus to avoid a factious man after a first and second warning. The point is to reject unrepentant divisive people. Unfortunately, Christianity got hijacked by Orthodox theologians. So the word heresy is no longer used as it is in Koine Greek in the New Covenant. It is only used by Orthodox believers to condemn others for having other beliefs and to scare them into submission to an Orthodox organization. When a person becomes a Christian by consent, any limitations Christianity imposes on speech and thought are practiced by consent. Those are personal limitations. Blasphemy, for example, is a personal limitation. The law must always support freedom of speech. What's heresy or blasphemy to one is the opposite to another. Personal limitations must never become societal limitations. That's why theocracy is never a good idea. Using the word heresy in accordance to the Orthodox definition implies that Orthodox leaders need to impose societal limitations because individuals allegedly cannot impose personal limitations themselves. It's never a good idea to control how people think, which is what Orthodox leaders try to do. Instead, it's better to teach them how to think. Likewise, it's better to lead by example than by force. I understand the appeal of orthodoxy. People in general are like sheep. You can see that from the amount of misery in the world. They need a shepherd and a sheepdog. When you scare people into submission, you become responsible to control them, and that's illogical. How does it make sense for one or a few people to control a larger number of people? It's pure arrogance. It's the same type of responsibility as making people dependent on you to provide them with food, but it's always better to learn people how to earn their own food. Churches and dictators have tried to use force and fear again and again in multiple ways, all to no avail. It's the opposite approach of God, even though God could impose a dictatorship and control all of us. God is all-powerful and has everything under perfect control, yet He is not trying to control us. Instead, He gave us free will, established a few religions, and left us to deal with ourselves. Humans are created to be free. Anything that is created to control people and deny them human rights is bound to fail, because it's essentially opposing what God has intended for us. In addition, no organization, whether it's a church or a government, can always be good. It can be good in the beginning, but everything that is put in the hands of man will eventually become corrupt because humans are corrupt. The New Covenant doesn't support the idea of having one organization to deal with Christianity like Solomon's temple in the Old Covenant dealt with Judaism. The word ecclesia in the New Covenant is translated in English as church, but that's the wrong translation. Ecclesia refers to all Christians, not to one organization. We are the ecclesia. You don't need any organization or person to stand between you and God. You don't need to worry about what they are saying. Their words are pollution. Let them call us heretics. No problem. Support their freedom of speech. Be free in your mind. Let nobody control it. God has created you to be a free agent. So clear your mind of any pollution before you come to Him.